Hey, you guys, online tutoring is exploding in the online world in a big way. And teachers in classrooms, in the classroom, they want to be able to tutor online, and they're looking to add supplemental income to what it is that they're doing, or even replace their income. And in-person tutors, they're adding additional students using the online platform so that they don't just have to stick to their zip code for getting students. Now, this explosion is making online tutoring more viable for students, teachers, tutors, and those that have never taught before but want to tutor online. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Now, when people begin to move into the online arena, once they have been mostly in person, some doubt, that it's going to be efficient, right? Sometimes people are fearful that they're going to lose their students when they go online. And some people are scared about what the parent is going to say. But our tutorpreneur hero today, Paul Morgan, who's been a member of the Insider Secrets Club, has managed to turn his completely in-person tutoring business into a 100% online tutoring business. And this is why Paul is being awarded the Tutorpreneur Hero Award. Now, he's not in the house yet. He's still finishing up his lessons with his students for the night, but he is receiving, we have a newly revised Tutorpreneur Hero Award for 2019 that he will be receiving. Now, some of you have seen that we kind of have a rebirth of our boom chat. So when we used to meet only in Zoom, we had a guest, we wanted to say thank you to our guests. We would like punch our fists and we'd wiggle our fingers back like this. But since you can't see that, we've created an emoji that represents our excitement. It's the fist with the fireworks. So if you hear something that you love today, copy that emoji and place it in the chat. And if at any time you have any questions, please feel free to ask them at any time. Now, I want to introduce to you who Paul is, because I want you guys introducing who you are. We've already had some people that have introduced who they are inside of the chat. Continue to do that. We have Robin in the house, woo woo, and we have Elizabeth who teaches English, awesome. And we've got Jean in the house. Oh, thanks, Jean. You used our boom cha. Fantastic, so glad. Now, as some of you guys have noticed, there is right now there's this really interesting thing that happens in the United States and the rest of the world. Some places change their time zone and some places do not, right? So you may have seen this actually happening and having some kind of confusion with your schedules and all of this kind of stuff. This is very normal this time of year. So we change 2 weeks earlier than like the UK does. And so we had to do a little bit of flopping around with times for this call today so that we could do the call when Paul was around. So we've got our fingers crossed in here. He's still making his way on in here. So continue. Oh, he's in here. Great. Paul, do me a favor, and you're going to click on the link in your Facebook message so you can join me in here live. Awesome, awesome. Now, again, you guys, we are awarding the Tutorpreneur Hero Award to Paul because he has completely moved his in-person tutoring business to the online world, the online format. So it's super duper exciting to see that. So after you guys have introduced yourselves, practice copying that boom cha. All you have to do is go to the boom cha, copy it, and then paste it. And that will then be inside of the chat. And anytime you do a Control V inside of there, it's kind of like giving somebody a high five inside of our group. All right, now you guys, Paul was a former nuclear waste research manager for the Atomic Energy Authority in Sellafield. He moved from the school system to be a private tutor, and he enjoyed working with kids one-on-one and seeing their confidence grow. He's an A-levels chemistry tutor and loves watching his students become successful in medicine, dentistry, and the veterinary fields. So we are just waiting for him to pop on in so that he can join us live inside of here. So, and in the meantime, should we sing like a Jeopardy song, or like da na 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 na? You guys have your drinks ready to go. Sit back, relax, enjoy. What are some questions? Are any of you guys who are in here right now, are any of you guys mostly in person at this point in time? I want to find out who our in-person tutors are, who are looking to add additional online students or completely move on to online. Tell us in the chat. All right. Who are our in-person tutors? We've got some awesome weather here today, you guys. It has hit 60 degrees here in Wisconsin, which is like uncalled for. It is raining, like torrential downpours, but you know that that's okay. I'll take it. I was teasing with some people this morning. I'm like, you know what? I think I may just like go for a walk with my umbrella just so I can feel what 60 feels like, because I don't even remember. Oh, we've got Paul in the house. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Hey, Paul, how's it going? Oh, it looks like we don't have sound on his side.
Yeah, it looks as
yes,
though
we do.
got,
I can hear you. Can you
hello.
hear me okay?
Good, thank you. I think I've got YouTube open at the same time.
Yeah, so all you have to do is just do the volume off, or you can just push on the X on that tab, and then you won't hear any feedback on it, because I'll probably be a little bit delayed on the YouTube channel versus being inside of here in Google Hangouts.
Okay, I think that's sorted.
So, Paul, congratulations. It's so exciting to hear when people are able to like really follow their dream and be able to make this happen for themselves. You started tutoring in person at people's going like traveler houses to do the tutoring. What was that experience like for you?
Oh, in the beginning, you know, it was great. You know, helping people, you know, but at the beginning I was teaching all sorts of subjects.
Okay.
There's a lot of tutors doing the beginning, so it was sort of physics, chemistry, biology, maths. You know, I took any job that was going. I think I even tutored, you know, an electrical course at some stage. Yeah. Or even a car mechanics course. You know, I'd help anyone with anything.
So you're pretty handy. You can cover it all. If it deals with science and math, you're the man to go to.
But eventually, you know, I realized that was a bit too much. And what I enjoyed most was maths and chemistry. So yeah, I went from sort of GCSE maths and A-level chemistry for quite a long time. Then decided to niche it down to the chemistry. I still do the maths, you know, a bit like you do the reading and still do the odd maths. And yeah, I did the A-level chemistry, specialize in that, but I still enjoy doing the maths. You couldn't really do A-level chemistry without the maths. So yeah.
You could totally do the reading without the maths, that's for sure. But I find that a lot of my students, like 40% of my students that struggle with reading, they also struggle with the math piece of it too. Do you find the same kind of statistic with your chemistry students?
Yeah, a lot of chemistry students struggle with the math side of it.
Okay.
But then a lot have done well in maths as well. So it's a mixture of both. Yeah,
for sure. Absolutely. So I remember when we first met and you were starting to really get sick of the driving and going to students' houses. Now that you're completely online, what is your experience like?
It's much better. I've almost sort of nearly doubled my income this year because I can tutor sort of back to back.
Yes.
You know, and tutoring at home as well. You know, I've got small children. You know, and they're just happy to know I'm in the house. You know.
Yeah.
It's not 100% online, but it almost is. I'm doing sort of 24 hours a week, and like 18 hours of that is now online.
Okay, great.
So I've still got 6 students face to face, but they're fairly local to me during the day, and you know that's not too much of a bind.
Sure.
But what I did first was that the furthest journeys I had, I made sure I tried to convert them to online.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to kind of go about it. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are like, well, how did you go about converting people from your in-person tutoring business to online? Like, what was that process like for you?
Well, I didn't until I'd got used to online tuition.
Okay.
My first request came from out of the blue. Someone asked for online tuition. I said yes. And then, if there's anyone new to it out there, my first session was as nervous as anything. I'd never used a whiteboard before, graphics tablets. So I think my first session, I just sort of talked for about half an hour, deliberately trying not to use the whiteboard because I knew my writing would be terrible. And eventually I thought, I can't go on any longer without using this whiteboard. And I used as big as handwriting, as spidery handwriting, but eventually I got through it. And the students, seemed to appreciate it, that they'd been helped. And, that was it. I was hooked. And you just get better. You get better. You get better at using the whiteboard. You get better at using the graphics tablet. And then once I was confident I'd done enough hours of that, that's when I started to convert my face-to-face students.
Okay.
And it was a mixture of ways. One, I actually took all the setup to their home and tutored them side by side. So my computer, their computer, but they sort of got the idea and immediately afterwards said, yeah, this is fine. We can do this.
What a
and
great
that's
idea.
been online ever since. And then it's strange sometimes. One of my students said, oh, I'm moving down London. I'm moving miles away. Is there any chance we could do tuition via Skype? And that must have been like 3 weeks after I started online tuition.
Nice.
So it's amazing how these things come together.
Yes.
Sometimes. And then my other's furthest away student, I mentioned to them online tuition, and it was like I was, asking them to climb Mount Everest. They were so against it.
Yeah.
So I just left that a while. I didn't want to lose him. I taught his sister. He was a sibling. It was a real pain in the neck to get to, but he was a lovely boy, and he was doing excellent at school.
Yeah.
And so I stuck with it for a while. And then the opportunity came. He was going on holiday. He was going on a school skiing trip. So they were going to have to change the time of the lesson. So I said, oh, yeah, I can do that time as long as it's online.
Yeah.
And I'll do it for free.
Wow.
So they were, they grabbed the chance then.
Yep.
And when we did that lesson, and the next time I went to see them, they just said, oh, he really enjoyed the online. I think he prefers it. We'll do it from online from now on.
Nice. See, so that's how you guys do it. There's so it wasn't like just one strategy that kind of converted them. It was like you used opportunities as an ability to have an open door. And then for the ones that were further away, you brought it up and they could make their decision. And then when the time seemed to be like a better fit for you to mention it again, then you gave it on out there for people to. Now, for people that you already had as clients, did you offer the free assessment, the free session online for them to try it right off the bat when you first mentioned it to them? Or how did that work?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think the first one for online converting face-to-face was always free.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Just to let them try it out and see what they think of it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But I didn't reduce my prices after that. Oh, for one I did, but they were already paying quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was another one. I was tutoring them about 4 o'clock, and then they said they wanted a later time. I said, yes, we can do the later time, but it would have to be online. Yeah. And then I said, but we'll do the first one free. And after that, I'll give you a 20% discount.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And they were happy with that. And
they were happy with that. And that's still going.
Cool.
And even yesterday, we're coming up to exam time. So there's some students saying, oh, I could do with an extra hour. I said, yeah, we can have that extra hour, but I'll have to do it online.
Right.
And then you'll see which you prefer. I'm fairly convinced they'll prefer the online.
Yeah. And isn't it funny? Like, I feel like kids do prefer the online versus the in-person. Have you found that once you start working with them online?
Yes. And that's why they've said to stick with online in the first place. They didn't have to. They could have even said, we'll carry on face to face.
Yep. And nobody really ever chooses that once they get the opportunity to really practice it out and see, is this going to be a good fit for them or not. I have one person, she lives in my subdivision, and it's so funny because I work with her on Thursday nights. She'll come to the house, we'll do our work together, and then when she leaves, I get on the computer, put on my headset, and I'm working with my students online. And she's like, when do I get to work on the computer like that? I'm like, well, just ask your mom. We always could do it from your home if you want to. I'm like, you live in the same subdivision, so I think your parents really want to just kind of drop you off, but you're welcome either way. We can do it either way. So I think she might be trying to convince her mom to be able to do it online. Which is really funny.
I do have one student that wants to go online, but the mother doesn't want her to go online.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's and they said because their English tutor had moved and they were going to do online tuition with their English teacher. I thought, oh great, I do online tuition as well. How about online tuition? Oh no.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I say hello to Alexa. Alexa is in the house, and Atol's in the house. Woo! Hey, Atol. Looks like you finished up your tutoring as well for the night. You're able to join us. Some of us are just getting started with our day and getting started with our big push, and you guys are just ending your big push. So how do you, like you mentioned before that you have little ones in your home. How old are your kids?
10 and 8 and 10.
8 and 10. Fantastic. Both boys, right?
Or 9 and 11. Yeah, 9 and 11.
Oh,
they grow up so quick.
I know. They have birthdays I can't remember.
Yeah, coming up soon.
Wait, maybe one's 9, maybe one's 10. I don't know. I'm like that too, especially when we have birthday time come around in November. So my kiddos end up, we have 2 that change in November, 1 that changes in July for going up a year. And so I just like add 2 years in between it for each of them when I tell people their age.
They're both in June, so that's quite lucky.
Yes. So then you just have to make sure you just have 2 years. Now you just have to remember the right year.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they want to be a year younger.
No, certainly not.
No, kids don't want to be a year younger. But us adults, we want to be a year younger. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe. Which would be fun.
At least.
So how do you balance that? How do you balance that being a dad and working from home and your kids? How do you balance all that?
It's a lot better balance now. I'm online tutoring. Because you know, now at 8 o'clock I'm finished and I'm still an hour before they go to bed.
Yeah.
Where before I could be finishing at 8 o'clock, and you know, depending on the traffic, you're back by the time they're going to bed.
Yeah.
But you know, I certainly need to make it more in the future. That's one of the plans, to go more international, so I can get more daytime hours.
Yes. You
know, I've got 1 or 2 international students now. So I'm getting, I need to get to know the time zones a bit better, which countries, and then sort of target that. For sure.
Now, what are your thoughts about targeting that, and what kind of process are you thinking of going through as you think about targeting other countries?
Well, this year was all about converting from face-to-face to online.
Right.
So that'll be for next academic year.
Sure.
Because I'm getting practice now with the international students doing international chemistry, the sort of international Excel and Cambridge International. So once I can target those for sort of keywords.
Yep.
And then, you know, and then sort of hopefully get more international inquiries from that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been doing a great job with your keywords. That is one of the things that we teach in the Insider Secrets club is how to be able to get found and hired by people. And you've done a great job of like taking what your keyword is, which is a keyword that people are actually searching for, not just any random keyword, and using it as your website URL for people to find you. Have you been getting people who are finding you online with your website yet?
Not enough, no. Because this year was all about converting to online tuition. So I was preparing for this, and the 24 hours, half of them are coming through agencies.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I started face-to-face, I started through agencies. It's the quickest way to get clients.
In the UK, yeah.
And
it's so different over there for you guys. And I'm so jealous because you guys do have like these really ethical, it seems, agencies that they're not taking like this insanely huge cut like they do here in the US. It's absolutely crazy where they're only like charging like $10 or $20 an hour to be able to tutor. And then they're charging $50 to $150 an hour. You guys actually have, there's like a fair, it seems like a fair market value for services and them getting students. Yeah,
you can set whatever rate you want, and then they just take, it's usually around about a 20%, 15, 20% cut. Yeah. But I was prepared to take that this year because this was all about learning online tuition.
Yeah.
In the future, you know, I'd like to get more traffic to my website and not pay that commission.
We all would, right? Like that's the way to go. And so now it becomes, you know, you have so many great stories. Like you could even just like expound on the stories from your students and what their experience has been. And you had mentioned that many of your students go into medicine and veterinary and dentistry with their chemistry work that you've done with them. And so it would be cool to even like pull some of those student success stories and kind of make it into a case study for a blog or a video or anything like that to really start, you know, getting people excited about working with you.
Yeah, and I know to get more people direct, that's what I need to be doing, you know, blogs, videos, and continuously updating the website.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do that this year. I just wanted to concentrate on the online tutoring.
Well, and it's so cool that you could have that focus and be making double what you were making the previous year and be able to really put all the pieces into place and be able to learn how to do the online aspect. And I mean, there's so much that you should just be so proud of in what you've been able to do. I know I'm really, really proud of you for everything that you have done. Now, we've got a question in here. It says, when you teach, do you solve the problems that the students have? We've got another person in here who teaches chemistry as well. And she said that the students are asking her to solve the problems versus really kind of teach her. Do you ever run into that?
It can if they get stuck, but usually you go through examples with them, and I'll say like, I'll do these first 2 questions, show how it's done, then you have a go at the next few questions, and then sort of help them out if they get stuck.
Sure. So and these are really students that you have, not just like a one-time student saying, hey, can you help me with this problem? And then they ditch you and then gone. Right?
No.
These are your regular students.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how do you teach? Tell us more about how you teach chemistry online.
So it's using Skype still, and bit paper. Yeah. I think most tutors now are using Zoom and bit paper, but that's what I found when I was first going online tutoring. Most people have heard of Skype, so that's why I wanted to. I thought that would get them on board quicker, and then I could always convert them to Zoom. But some I'm tutoring just using bit paper, the audio and the video on bit paper.
Great, and that seems to work and be able to do it. So do you ever have to like upload anything into your into bit paper to be able to work on different activities and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, and I found some good chemistry sites.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's one called Chem Sheets. There's another called Save My Exams,
Uh-huh.
and they've got all the material you could ever want.
Oh,
You know,
great.
you
That's
don't.
perfect.
So I'm often just copying and pasting
Sure.
questions, examples from there into bit paper.
Uh-huh. And then you work through it. And does the student ever come with like their homework for the session?
Yes, yeah, and they'll some take a photo, but most just talk me through the question, and I'll write it on the bit paper.
Okay. And so then you just kind of work it out that way
Yeah.
to be able to work through the different problems. So you mentioned 2 sites again. Can you repeat those? What 2 sites do you use again to get resources?
One's called Chem Sheets. It's like chemistry sheets shortened. Chem Sheets.
Okay.
And the other one is Save My Exams. And there's not just Save My Exams, and there's not just chemistry on there. There's all sorts of subjects.
Oh, great. It's always great when we can be able to share the resources and the tools that are working for us that we can be able to utilize with our business. And Elizabeth had mentioned that she totally agrees with working them through like a few examples and then asking to see if they can do the next one. She says that strategy works with lots of subjects, right? It's just best practice. It's like, okay, well, let me show you how to do it. And now let me watch you do it to see where is the misunderstanding. And let me now walk you through it again so that we can do it together. And then let's see now with a new example if you can do it on your own. Because they have to, at the end of the day, be able to do it on their own when they get to the assessment, when they get to the test, when they are in school. You can't be by their shoulder and doing it for them, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The students I had just before here, we were doing sort of free radical substitution of alkanes, and that's what she asked for. We went through examples, and at the end, she did the hardest example I could ever think of. I was right. We've got it. Yeah.
Wow. And does she have that vision that she also wants to go into one of those 3 fields that you tend to typically see your students go into?
I don't think she'll be that high a grade.
Okay.
But whatever university course she wants to do, that's as she'll get on it. Yeah,
sure.
She'll definitely meet her grade.
Awesome. So, okay, so you have to explain this for us, like us US people. A-level chemistry. What does that mean? Because we have these courses, like we have like regular chemistry, and then we have AP, that's advanced placement college level chemistry. What's A-level chemistry?
Yeah, because I wondered this myself. I thought, I wonder if they do A-level chemistry in America. That's one of the places. No, but the equivalent seems to be year 1 of AP chemistry. We specialise a bit earlier here in the UK. It's 16 to 18 years old. At 16, they have to choose 3 subjects to take before university. So they go from, say, 10 subjects up at the age of 16 to 3 subjects to do by the age of 18. So it gets specialised and quite high level. So I think looking at it, it's the first year of AP. That's
what it sounds like to me. That's kind of what I always had the equivalent, but I wanted to definitely make sure, because you hear it all the time, A-level math, A-level chemistry. And I was like, I wonder if that's like AP, like advanced placement. Do they get credits for college for those courses?
No, they need to get a high enough grade on those courses to get on their required course at university.
Okay. So it does not equate into credits for them.
No. Well, say to be a doctor, they'll need 3 grade A's at A level.
Oh, okay.
In there, yeah. So I guess that's your equivalent of credits to get to university.
There's like, they get 3 credits per class when they go into college here in the US. And so if they take an exam, so it doesn't even matter what their grade is in the class, they have to take an exam. And you guys, please fix me if I'm wrong with this, but I think they have to get 4 out of 5 points. Let's see if Robin's still in the house. She'll know. She's our SAT guru. So yeah, that's very interesting to kind of hear like the differences, because that helps them with keyword terms and searching, doesn't it? If you do want to work with a certain country, you need to figure out what are they calling it in that country, so that you can be able to create content around that keyword and be able to get found by those students.
Yeah, and that's why I was looking if America did A-level chemistry, and they don't. Yeah, so but there are lots of places around the world that do.
There are.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like India does. They do, like, right?
Yeah, so I've got a student in Indonesia. I've got an inquiry from United Arab Emirates. I've got a student in Dubai. So yeah, and then all the English-speaking ones, so Australia and so on.
Were you amazed when you first got started how many countries speak English?
No, we've always known that. That's why we're lazy. That's why we're lazy at speaking other languages.
Okay, so anybody else out there who's listening, are you surprised about all the other countries that just speak English? People are amazed. Like when I say here, oh, I've taught students in Australia, Brazil, you're breaking stuff over there.
Oh yes, when you say it that way, yes, I'm amazed. Yeah, because the girl that's in Indonesia, I didn't know, because the agency don't tell you where they're from.
Yeah.
And I was just saying, oh, it's windy here.
Yeah.
Thinking, she was somewhere else in the UK.
Right.
She said, oh no, it's really nice here in Indonesia. That's only how I found out. I was teaching in another country. Yes, so I am surprised in those countries how many speak English.
Yeah.
Yeah, non-English speaking countries. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've worked with some students in Japan and China, and you've got a lot of people who have moved to those countries where their education system isn't really focusing on the English side of it. So with reading, I get those people all the time contacting me and finding me and saying, hey, can you work with my son? We're going to be moving to this country where they speak mostly English, and I want to make sure that they're reading on grade level. And I'm just like, you got it. Like, and it's so fun to just have that different mix on in there of students to be able to work with. So much fun.
Yeah, it's good that they're studying English qualifications or English equivalent qualifications in those countries as well.
Yeah, for sure. So you have been in the Insider Secrets Club, I feel like, since the very, very beginning. What has your experience been like as a member?
Well, you can just, especially in the beginning, you can ask any question, and there's experts in there that will help you. So from the choice of your graphics tablet, from what to use when you're online tutoring, headsets, microphones, it's all very confusing in the beginning.
Yeah, there's so much to learn. I agree with you, and it's not necessarily that it's complicated. It's just so different. A lot of new stuff to just be able to learn and be able to figure out on how to use and do all of that. And it's really, really cool. So for a new person who is just getting started with their online tutoring business that is mostly in person at this point in time, what kind of advice would you give them?
Whatever way you can, get one student. Yeah, it's just that first student that will get you on board with online tutoring other students. So whether it's converting one of your current students or just signing up with agencies that do online tuition only. So any requests from that will be about online tuition. So yeah, on all the agencies, I've changed my status now to just doing online tuition. So any request that comes through is about online tuition.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Like I mentioned before, like there's this big divide on like in the US with agencies and around the world. Are you linked up with any agencies that are outside of the US to be able to get clients? I mean, out of the UK to be able to get clients?
No, I think they're all Good point. Well, I think they're all UK agencies, but they get students from all over the world.
Yeah, yeah. That's very cool.
So Spires is one I'm with. Tutorful is another. Tutor Hunt is another. They're the three ones, my main ones. The other agency I use is local. But I told them I've converted to online tuition, and they got me a student for online tuition.
Great. That's fantastic.
And all the other students are direct with me.
Yeah.
So about half of them, and some of them will ask me about face-to-face tuition now, but I'll just say try online tuition.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if it's come via word of mouth.
For sure, for sure. And it feels like it's a lot easier to convince people once you already have like a big chunk of your students like online. Like it doesn't seem so daunting anymore to be able to be like, so I'm online. It's not like an awkward conversation anymore. You just are able to convert them to be online because I feel like personally, like you have to believe in it too in order to sell it.
Yeah, and that's why it took me a while to convert my face-to-face students until I've had practice with online tutoring other students. Yeah, yeah. But now at every opportunity I can, I'm trying to convert. Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. So in your ideal world, how many students would you want to be able to work with each week? I've got it. I'm between 20 and 25. Oh, that's awesome. So you are like you're at your book solid. Yeah. That's awesome. Because from now on, it's only going to get busier as we get closer to exams. The students are just going to want more tuition. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That is fantastic. I think you guys that totally deserves what we were talking about before, the boom cha. So Paul, you might remember our original boom cha where we would take our fist, we go, and then we would like wiggle our fingers back. And it was really cool when we were inside of Zoom. But now that we're on YouTube, we can't see anybody else. It's just the two of us. So it's kind of weird for me just to be like, boom cha. So we now have an emoji for the boom cha. So you'll see Elizabeth has used it. I have used it. All you have to do is copy and paste the boom cha. If you want to give him a boom cha, if you want to give Paul a boom cha for the amazing work that he has done with creating his business, give him a boom cha. Oh, Jean's the first one to give you a boom cha. Thank you, Jean. You rock. And you are going to be getting our very first brand new renovated 2019 Tutorpreneur Hero Award. The crowd goes wild. Atoll has given you a boom cha. That's right. Where do I see these boom chas? Where are they? Oh yeah, you can't see the boom cha in there. You'll have to go watch the replay. Okay. Thank you. Elizabeth just gave you a boom cha. Yes, I have two computers going on here. So I have my computer that has me talking on it with the YouTube right on inside of there with a chat. And then I have me on this screen so that I can focus on the thing. So you might see me sometimes even go like this because I'm like trying to read. Apparently I should do this. Shh, make it bigger so I can see everybody. Instead of having to squint. What'd they say? I feel like I'm getting older. You feel like you're getting older? Kind of feel like I'm getting older. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Oh, Simone, she just gave you a boom cha. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm so excited that we have found a way to bring the boom cha into our YouTube lives. It's really, really awesome. So congratulations again, Paul, on your amazing success and being able to start booking your online tutoring business solid. And this is the first of many times that you're going to do that. You know, it's just going to keep going from here. I mean, now that you're going to be able to get referrals over and over again, it just keeps getting easier and easier to have people find you, request you, and want to be able to work with you. And that's what we all want to do when it comes to our online tutoring businesses. So congratulations. I know that we are all excited for you. And if you are not in the Insider Secrets Club yet, you can join us.
if you go to number 5, you can just click on that button and you can join us and be a member, and you can get a whole bunch of like awesome stuff. You can get in on live calls where we do group coaching. You can get you can continue to learn with us through workshops and book clubs. And we have a special Facebook community that is just for our Insider Secret Clubs members. And we also have the opportunity to just continue to get all the resources and tools, like how Paul created an amazing website. He did that because he went through the Websites That Win course. So you have a lot of courses that are unlocked for you that you'll be able to utilize to be able to get found online. And that's my goal for you, is to get found, hired, and referred. So thanks for joining us, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.